Hey, so today I'm going to talk about 3 sure signs that you need to know as it relates to going back to heal your inner child. But before we get into that, I am Siobhan, your community cultivator, and I am deeply passionate about community, sisterhood, and personal growth. So if that's your jam, continue to watch. All right, so before we get into the signs that you need to know if you need to go back and heal your inner child, let's first define what your inner child is. And according to Google, it says it's your younger self that lives within your internal psyche. So basically, the little child in you. I like to call my inner child Little Siobhan. You can call yours whatever you like, but that's basically what it is. And so how do you know if you need to go back and heal your inner child? These are 3 things that I want you to know right now. Number 1 is that you are a people pleaser and you're afraid to say no, right? So you give so much of yourself, so much so until you get burned out, and you're always there for everybody else, and you're giving. And what happens is the reason that you tend to show up like that in your relationships is out of a fear of abandonment, or a fear that they're going to leave you, or a fear that you are going to hurt someone. And that becomes codependency. Now, I know that to be true in my own life, and that's how it showed up, where I would show up for people and do all these things, but it was out of fear of losing them. And I have my own abandonment issues with my mother, and so I would hold on to relationships oh so tightly and do all these things because I wanted to continue to please people because I didn't want to be hurt again. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that you blame others for what they've done to you. Now, I was someone who blamed my mother for years for the choices that she made when I was growing up. I never communicated that with her, but I held on to it. And so when I was constantly blaming her, it caused me to be stuck in my own life, and then I couldn't grow and I couldn't move. And at some point I realized that I had to take ownership of my life. Like, as you know, you can blame people forever, but that's only hurting you. It has nothing to do with them. And so I had to say, you know what? You can sit in this space and you can continue to blame her for the choices she made or didn't make, or you can show up for yourself. And I chose to show up for myself. So that's number 2. And number 3, how you know you need to go back and heal your inner child is that you don't have a strong sense of identity. You don't know who you are. And you feed off of validation from other people. So that was me. Like, I always needed to be praised. I always needed to be affirmed and validated from friends and family. And because of that, the reason for that is that I didn't have a strong identity within myself, and my self-esteem was low. And I had to go back and heal the little child in me. So how do you do that? I'm going to give you 2 things that you can do right away. Number 1 is to tell your inner child, tell little Siobhan, I tell her every day, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And the next thing that I had to do after I tell her that I love her, I write to her in my journal for sure. And then the second thing that's really important, especially because my mother was emotionally unavailable, I have to tell little Siobhan that she's safe, right? That she is safe, she's secure, nobody's trying to hurt her anymore, she's okay. And so those are 2 things that you can do right away. But of course, I know you want more, right? And that means that you can invest in the Motherless Child Guidebook, A Sacred Space for Healing Your Mother Wounds, because I go deep into this and identify more patterns and signs, if you will, to know if you need to heal your inner child. And I give you more practical things that you can apply. Not only that, but I also help you identify the toxic patterns in a mother-daughter relationship. I teach you on how to identify your mother wounds and to create a new narrative for yourself. And all of that will be found in the guidebook itself, along with writing prompts, so that way you can start to write things down on paper. In addition, there's videos that will complement each section, so then that way you feel like you have a friend doing this with you, and then there's additional resources like a music playlist, there's affirmations and so much more. And so I really want to help, especially as we're around Mother's Day. I really want to support you on this journey, and I don't want you to feel alone and having the same wounds and pains and everything that comes up around this time, because I know, because it happens to me. But this year is totally different because I'm in such a beautiful space, and it's because I done my inner work, and I want you to do the same. So all you need to do is go to themotherlesschild.com and invest in your healing today. Again, themotherlesschild.com. And then if you know someone who needs this, invest in it and buy it for them, or can just share this video. You know what I mean? But thank you so much for taking time to watch today. And I hope in some way, shape, or form that you were encouraged and you're going to do something to take one step forward to better your life. All right. Have an amazing day.